All right, welcome. I've been trying to do this message on you on Facebook, and it just is not working out. The connection doesn't remain secure, and so I am going to bring this message through YouTube Live, and then um, I am going to post it. Do it that way. All right. So, welcome. This is Conscious Life Revolution, and I would like to bring a message through the Lemurian deck. And this is the card. I should really have it up the right way. This is the card that I pulled for the 9/11 portal, and it is evolution. And if you look at the card, look, you can see the DNA strands, and you can see the movement of that element of water, and blue is the throat chakra, and so and then there is it's got the flow of water, and that represents the movement and motion of energy within the heart, and within the spiritual speak of the heart. I'm going to read a little bit more into what that is. Growth. This card represents growth, overcoming challenges, gracefully riding the waves of life, expanding out of a problem, flourishing in the face of change, and thriving in new environments, being unperturbed. And what does personal evolution mean to you? Is it about growth, expansion, adaptation, success, or becoming a better version of yourself? Perhaps it speaks to an ability to move through difficulties. However good we are at surfing the waves of life, we all face surging tides of challenging ups and downs at times. When we try to hide from our trials, they get even bigger or more overwhelming. We can dive into them or surf them for growth and transformation. We might also flow with the current of less resistance, allowing the waves to wash over us and inspire a deep sense of compassion and strength. How we meet our challenges contributes to our growth and evolution. So I just think it's a time where we are all finding that point of connection, and that point, the balancing point within ourselves. And for some of us, that is protesting, and that is finding the fire. For some of us, it is tears. For some of us, it is planning and strategizing. For others of us, it is creativity. We are all responding to these world events in our own way, and each of us are entitled to walk the path through listening to the movement of our own spirit and what is needed in each moment. It is the time of the 9/11, which is the tower that will fall. And what is this referring to? This is referring to the energetic structures and systems that have been part of our world, that are attached to old paradigms and old ways of perceiving the self and reality. And so what is happening is that we are observing not only the falling of the tower of those old systems and structures that have been a part of our world um, um, but also part of the shadow projection. Um, we are, while we observe in the physical world the event of the 9/11 and the Twin Towers that crumbled, and that was a physical 3D representation of a catastrophic event. And now we are observing the spiritual tower that is beginning to fall, and that means that we make space for the old structures and systems of that energetic consciousness that we have lived under to begin to fall. And this is called coming out of the shadows. This is called finding our greatest light, and we begin to make room for the tower to fall. And because when it falls from that the government and from that place, when we are in that movement of wanting those old structures to fall, then they are also falling within us, because we are the mirror reflection, we are the people. And so there is a moving from the lower chakras and the more dense energies into more expansive creation of limitless potential. It is about finding the sovereignty of the self. And so and how do we find that? We let go of defense mechanisms, the structures and systems that we've built that are false security, and we begin to follow the heart. This is the place where the evolution takes place for the soul energy. We actually have three hearts. We have the heart that is within this part of our mind, that is the consciousness. This is the place where we dream. This is the place where we have visions, where we have dreams, where we have they are the thoughts that of the things that we desire to manifest. Okay. Then there is the heart center, and that is the place of processing, and the place of releasing, and the place of transforming and transmitting new versions of self and new energetic patterns of consciousness. And then we have just below the heart, the solar plexus, that is the third heart, and that is the place of empowerment. That is the place where we bring everything into alignment, and we speak our truth, and we begin to make the changes that will manifest through the reflection of our reality. Those changes are happening within the heart, and so the ascension or the light codes that are coming into these places, into these three places, and that is where the tower is also falling. The tower will fall, and the old energetic patterns of consciousness that have held us within the shadows, within the places of self-sabotage, compromise, not having enough love for the self, not having enough love for other people, moving into greater awareness, acceptance, and connection. And so this is this movement of energy within our system, within our consciousness, within our heart is what begins to happen as the towers begin to fall. Okay, and the tower is representing the shadow energy, what is hidden from us as the people, but also what we hide from ourselves and what we hide from other people. Um, we need to move into a more transparent transmission, and that is challenging. So I just want to read this again. Evolution is growth, overcoming challenges, gracefully riding the waves of life, expanding out of a problem, flourishing in the face of change, and thriving in new environments, being unperturbed. Because we can only thrive in new environments and be unperturbed once we know the foundational spiritual principles that will support this system. Okay, and that is the evolution, is that we are moving into the governance of the spiritual principles by which we live, and that governance is something that we govern ourselves as the collective. And so as we begin to see in terms of our physical world, the old structures, systems, of the ways that we believe, or perceptions of what our world is, when those begin to fall, then we are able to move into new environments and to overcome challenges, and to begin to integrate new awareness, new growth, new transformation. Um, you know, we are gracefully riding the waves of life. And these waves, I want to just speak very briefly about the wave. I kind of had it was more like a feeling, but this is the picture that I received in response to the feeling. And because I was like, what is that? And so what we're moving into is that when we're beginning to feel new energy within arising in our heart, then we will begin to see in pictures, because that's when our system comes back to balance. We begin to become the visionary, we begin to become the dreamer. Okay, and we begin to dream and have visions, and begin to speak from the place that knows that we are free, that freedom, that understands the spiritual concept of freedom. And so yes, I had this picture of the 1%, and the people, hero the people, and so it is like a surging wave, like a tsunami that rises up. It's not about resistance, because resistance does not achieve acceptance, and judgment does not produce acceptance. Okay, and resistance does not achieve balance. I'm learning too, I'm not perfect. And so and so um and so these are the old energetic patterns of to resist and to judge and to come from that energy. Now that is a tower that must fall, and that's the 9/11. And so now we're moving into acceptance and into balance. Okay, and so how do we do acceptance and how do we do balance? And that's the journey of the inner realms of the heart energy. And when we embrace those attitudes, then what happens is that we can allow the tower to fall and realize that actually it needs to fall for us to move into freedom, more freedom. Yes. So if you enjoyed this, there is also a download, that these downloads that I'm creating, they are called Heart Magic Transmissions, because they are a download that comes from spirit, and it is a download that is communicated through pictures, through quotes, through music, through movement, and it is a way in which we can begin to um, um, accelerate the soul evolution, so that we can actually begin to find the balancing point within the self. And so that's why I have created them, to offer empowerment and encouragement to the collective heart. So those are available on Conscious Life Revolution page, and if you are wanting to be a part of the group, we have a Spiritual Speak group, and the downloads will be available on that page, on the Facebook group page. And we've got some things coming up that will, these things I'm doing for free at this time, because I don't have my website set up. I don't have a pay thing set up, but eventually these downloads and these teachings are going to be courses that are available to assist one another as the collective to embrace the higher vision, and to begin to come into alignment with the transmission of that. And for everyone, it is completely different, because we're all unique. We're all unique. We're all on our own path, and yet we're all on the same path. And so that artistic form that we bring, or that skill, or that talent, or that qualification that we bring into the navigation of our new world, is is unique to you. We all have a unique light to shine in this world, and so a lot of the courses will be geared towards how to find and access the empowered self, because we can make affirmations and we can do that sort of stuff, but if we're doing that and we're not doing the shadow work, it doesn't have as much impact. When we combine the shadow work with our heart declaration and our heart magic, then when we have the two, then we have the balance, because we are dealing with the shadow, and we have to get comfortable with doing that. And then we are also bringing in new levels of our own light. We're coming into the reclaiming of that energy and the reclaiming of that light. And so when we do that, then we can bring the balance. We can find the balance, and we can find the acceptance. Okay, we don't find that through the old ways of doing things. All these things are the tower, and it's not just the government that will fall. It is everything that we've become attached to, that world and that presentation of that world, and it is the ones that are moving into greater light and greater awareness that will begin to evolve and hold that light for the generations to come. And so we are, as it were, standing in the gap for the future generations. We are here to break generational curses, because we are the ones that our bloodline has been waiting for. Whatever culture you are, whatever bloodline you come from, you are the one your bloodline has been waiting for. And when we begin to move through these shadows and come and reclaim our light, then we are bringing the spiritual revolution to the earth. And so that is exciting. That's all I have to say for now. Blessings, love, and light. This is Moonlight Mystic. Namaste. Right.